Welcome to the Radically Genuine podcast. I am Dr. Roger McFilling. Recent advances in quantum physics are reshaping our understanding of human nature at a fundamental level. Beyond our physical bodies, we are, in essence, complex systems of energy. This perspective is not merely theoretical. It's grounded in emerging scientific research. Our bodies, cognitive processes, and even consciousness can be conceptualized as intricate energy patterns. This paradigm shift offers new insights into human potential, suggesting possibilities for influencing our health and interacting with our environment in ways previously unimagined. As our grasp of quantum mechanics evolves, we're on the cusp of a new era in understanding human consciousness, one that may allow us to harness our innate energetic nature for personal and collective advancement. Imagine a tone so powerful that it's said to repair DNA, realign your spirit, and unlock the very fabric of the universe. A frequency that's been whispered about for centuries, from ancient meditation halls to cutting-edge research labs. Some call it the miracle tone, others the frequency of love. But what if I told you this is not science fiction? The sound is real, and its potential is only beginning to be understood. That listening to this frequency reduced cortisol levels, which is a primary stress hormone, and increased oxytocin, a relaxation hormone. It is shown to lower tension and anxiety, as well as overall mood disturbance. It may mitigate the damaging effects of toxins like alcohol use. It's linked to increased testosterone in the brain and decreased anxiety behaviors in animal studies, and may repair damaged DNA. As our human consciousness grows and scientific understanding expands, we are opening ourselves more and more to the understanding of alternative healing modalities. Throughout history, mystics and scientists alike have sought to unravel its mysteries. Ancient civilizations incorporated into sacred geometries and healing practices. Nikola Tesla, the enigmatic inventor, believed it held the key to unlimited free energy. Modern researchers are exploring its potential to revolutionize medicine and technology. On today's episode, we'll dive into a world where vibration meets mystery, where the line between science and spirituality becomes blurred. We'll explore groundbreaking research and ways you can incorporate this sound frequency to completely alter your life and just maybe change the way you think about the power of sound forever. I want to welcome to the podcast Sigmar Berg. He's an entrepreneur, artist, photographer, and fashion designer who is the founder of Lovetuner, which is a fascinating tool that produces the 528 hertz frequency, known as the love vibration and miracle tone. Before his team reached out to me, I had already purchased the product and I have been using it in my meditation. So I'll definitely talk about my journey with Lovetuner. Sigmar Berg, I want to welcome you to the Radically Genuine podcast.
Roger, thank you for having me on your show. I really like your show. I like what you're doing, and let's get into it and have an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fascinating area of science for me, and it kind of connects the science and spirituality aspects of who I am as a clinical psychologist. But I'm more interested in kind of first understanding about you, a little bit about your background, your story. How did you get into this understanding of this kind of field in science to develop this product?
So like my journey started like maybe even subconsciously a long time ago. I was, as a teenager, a professional swimmer. So long before I even understood what breath work means. Later in my life, I got into meditation. And I think about 6 to 7 years after I was already meditating and consciously being on a spiritual path, I got introduced to the 528 hertz frequency, and I did a guided sound meditation. And it was just like a feeling like if somebody gives you the possibility to ride a car with, let's say, 200 horsepower, and then somebody gives you something with 600 horsepower, and you go like, wow, that's cool. I want to do this. And this was the feeling what I had in this sound meditation. It was something that took me beyond what I ever experienced in a regular meditation before. And I think I was like pretty consistent on my meditation journey already. But this frequency opened something up that really triggered my curiosity. And old friend of mine, they have been working already on this frequency, and then we came up and said, listen, we need to integrate this, that it's instantly available, and was the beginning of Lovetuner as we have it now. And the beauty of it is, like, when you've been talking about the frequency, it sounds like, oh wow, that's something what man created, how beautiful, but it's not. It's a divine frequency. I have nothing to do with 528 hertz, besides that I facilitate it through the Lovetuner and that I use it for healing, for meditation. But that's the beauty of it. And that's the understanding where science and spirituality completely merge, because there's none without the other. And if you deny the existence of God or the existence of a higher power, then, like, what is research and what is science, even worse? And this is the beauty of it. So the 528 hertz is a magic divine frequency, and it helps us humans to heal and to connect. And this is also the names of it, like miracle frequency, DNA repair. And then at the end, the hippie-esque word, love frequency. But we all know everything is energy and frequency. And what makes us the most happiest one and what makes us vibrate the highest one is unconditional love. So that's just the beauty of it. In our nowadays, when you say it's the DNA repair frequency, people get big ears. If you say love frequency, you lose half of the people, because they say, what, love? That's so hippie. But it's what it is. It's the core frequency of love. It's the understanding of unconditional love and what this can do. And when you look in the history of 528 hertz, it was used over centuries as a healing frequency. And it was our natural C note on the musical scale. So there's all the reason to everything, and why it's so beneficial for humans and why it's so powerful.
Yeah, so let's get really simplified first, just develop a foundation for the listeners here who might not really be exposed to this idea of vibration and frequency. What does it actually mean in its simplest terms? I know, like, there's a lot of people out there who understand some of the popular terms like vibing with somebody. I felt that vibe, I felt that experience, but really this is a scientific term. When we talk about vibration, we talk about frequency. So how do we define it? How is this stuff even measured and known?
So, frequency is measured in hertz, and when we talk about vibing, so everybody knows this. Like, I went into a room, there was a certain different vibe, or this person had a different vibe, or we all know, like, sounds that really stress us, like whatever, street noise, the classic chalkboard noise, like all this kind of stuff we are very aware of. So what this means is, like, something gives a frequency, we feel it because we react to frequency, and then we said that's negative. The only downside, what happened over, I don't know how many years, is that we don't recognize positive frequencies. So when we go to the ocean and watch a sunset, and we go like, oh, this was so relaxing, it was so beautiful, we don't know it's a frequency. And this is, I think, this conscious awareness, that what people need to understand to even embrace frequency healing. Because we always go, oh wow, that was a bad vibe. And sometimes you vibe with someone and you go, like, you have a dinner with someone and you come home and it feels like great, you had a great conversation, it was in the same vibe, the same ideas, you aligned off. And this goes all back to how we as a human vibe, and our hearts curiously always want to connect. So what disconnects us is the intellect. You look at someone, you have certain ideas in your head, your mind, the intellect separates us, and this actually disconnects us from feeling vibrations. And when you're with, I mean, I don't know if you have children, but if you had babies at one point, there's no communication, like you talk, but it's not about the word, it's about the vibration. You hold your baby, like you give it comfort. Whatever you say it in a way that it's humbling, that it's a good vibe. And this is basically the same thing when people talk about frequency and vibration. It's just that we focus on negative vibration, and we know everything what is bad for us, from the cell phone to the street noise, etc. But we need to consciously understand that there's a lot of good vibrations, and also how we can manipulate these frequencies in our own favor. So what can we do when there's a bad vibe? How can we avoid a bad vibe? And how do we even recognize it? And then also, how can we recognize if something gives a positive healing frequency or vibration? And this is the core understanding. And then frequency and vibration don't sound so abstract anymore. If you think about it, I mean, music makes us super happy. Like we know the reaction that plants have to music. We know the reaction what water does to music. So it captures memories. We are over 70% water. Our blood is 91% water. No doubt that we react to vibration and frequency. And I think if you open this awareness, then you understand life way better, and it explains stuff, and this is also what I'm trying to basically preach in my book, is about understanding vibration, but also understand what you are vibing with, and what is cool for you, because that's the only thing that really counts. There is no perception to something, there's only perspective, but you cannot have any perspective if you just go like, what? Vibration and frequency not existing, because that means you are talking against existence, and this whole thing, everything what I can feel and see is the only thing that counts. I mean, that's a great limitation of life,
Yeah, and as energetic beings, our emotions are literally energy and motion, and the thoughts that we create in our minds are energetic. I was recently watching a documentary where they were discussing this. It was a NASA scientist where they've been able to identify mathematically that our thoughts are faster than the speed of light. So we're constantly emitting this energy. And I think when we talk about experiencing the vibration of others, we are actually experiencing their degree of consciousness, the emotions that they're generating. And we really do have this capacity, if we are in tune, like if we're not too lost and disconnected into the human mind, we have the ability to experience the energy of those around us, because we are essentially interconnected. And in quantum mechanics, it states that the universe is made up of space filled with fields of vibration, interconnected, unified, and in constant communication, where distance and time are really of no consequence. I think this idea might be challenging for us in this three-dimensional material world, but we are all vibrating on energy. And so people do feel, and I think we have like really good scientific evidence to support this too, like when grounded and connected in nature, that we have all these positive emotional and physical health benefits of doing so. So like what is going on when we are connecting with nature on a vibrational frequency level?
Yeah, like what you just talked about. I mean, it's a big thing right now, grounding. But I remember when I was growing up, we have been barefoot all summer, so that was one thing. And this is already the first thing you should do. Like we are like a battery. We have electric from the sun. We have a magnetic field in the earth, and we are this little battery in there. And whatever we can do to be fueled by energy and be connected to Mother Earth, that's the most important thing. So, and when you understand this, then healing happens. Like this is where it's so important that people are barefoot, at least once in a while, go outside. And I write about it in my book. It starts with like me hugging a tree. And believe me, like whatever, 15 years ago, if somebody told me about hugging a tree, even when I was already meditating, it was not really something what I could relate to. It was not the thing where I go like, well, I get meditation because that's beneficial. We are firing 75,000 thoughts a day. And if we get a relief from it, it's beneficial. It relaxes us, gives us a rebalancing, etc. But the awareness of hugging a tree wasn't there till I really felt it, like consciously felt it, and what it does, and this is also your system. The more you tune your system, the more you're fine-tuned, the more you are able to read and feel this energy. And this is also the beauty when you build this connection, or maybe some people never lost it, like they always had it since they're children, and they consciously or sometimes subconsciously maintain this relation to nature. They always have this feeling, and it's not about being spiritually educated or being a scientist. It's just this acceptance of life and understanding what it means, and when you go to indigenous tribes, they have this full understanding and the full connection to nature. And we had a team rider. She was just in Brazil with a indigenous tribe in the Amazon, and they use the Lovetuner, and they make their own music, healing music, and they use the Lovetuner, and they immediately recognized and we heard it from different tribes. We heard it from all the way from Asia till South America. We have been in Africa. The first thing what they say is like, oh, that's a connection to God. And that's the beauty, because nature to them is God, because they understand creation, because they feel it. And as I said, it's not an intellectual understanding. And this is what I always tell people. Please don't prove to nature how smart you are, because there's no relevance, because your degree does not help you to get healing from Mother Earth, It's when you open your heart and when you really fine tune, and if you can make a fool out of yourself and give it a try, because that's what it is. It really takes this courage to go like, okay, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing, but I give myself to nature and I want to be surprised by what it can do for me. And when you let these guards down, our arrogance, and when we really feel the creation, first of all, it changes your perspective and your behavior towards nature generally, because you really have a different understanding, because you would not also kill your own doctor. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one cycle. And I think meditation and being exposed to frequency and spiritual hygiene needs to go hand in hand with the understanding of nature. That there's no way that you sit in your high-rise building and you have your app on the phone, what is all great, but this is not what makes you heal. Like, you need, no matter where you live in the world, you need to go outside, you need to breathe in air. And if there's only one tree in your city, go there and give him a hug out of courtesy, because you will get a lot of things back.